An abduction of two women in London on the 25th of April, the MPS launched an urgent investigation. We issued a series of detailed public appeals, offered a £20,000 reward to trace 34-year-old Joseph McCann. We also issued his photograph. We received many calls from the public of potential sightings, and we are extremely grateful for the help of so many people. Yesterday evening, we were informed that McCann was in the Congleton area of Cheshire. He was arrested in the early hours of the morning, and he is now in custody. Between the 25th of April and Sunday the 5th of May, he is suspected of being involved in 5 further incidents in the northwest of England. He is being investigated for offences committed in Cheshire, Manchester, Lancashire, in addition to those in London and Hertfordshire. Detectives from the Met continue to lead on this investigation, and we're working very closely with other forces around the country. All of these offences will be jointly investigated. At this early stage, we believe there are a total of 7 incidents, and 4 took place yesterday. Following the initial attacks, the case was assigned to the Homicide and Major Crime Command. This was to ensure the best possible investigation right from the outset. Detectives worked practically around the clock to identify and trace McCann. His name and his photograph were released. The details of a vehicle linked to the initial offences was also circulated nationally. He was shown wanted on the police national computer, but this is, and still is, an in-depth and fast-moving investigation. These series of attacks are grotesque and horrifying, but thankfully they are also exceptionally rare. Further details concerning specific offences will become clearer in due course. The victims are now being supported by specialist officers, and in due course they will be giving their accounts. I would, however, urge any further victims please to come forward. Specifically, we need to speak to or hear from anyone who has been in contact with McCann between February and May, and from anyone who has information about the investigation. Anyone who can help is asked to call the incident room or Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. We did receive quite a lot of information regarding him. Can't really go into the detail, I'm afraid.
Are you able to say if you knew he was in the Cheshire area?
That ultimately then becomes part of the tactics of the manhunt, so I'm afraid I can't go into that.
Where is he now and what conditions are he?
He's currently in custody. He's been brought back to London where the matter will be investigated. I think we're exceptionally relieved he's in custody. We're exceptionally grateful for the help and support we've had of so many members of the public in all the calls. These were, and they are, a grotesque and appalling series of offences. They are thankfully exceptionally rare, so it is extremely important that he is in custody and England is a safer place. It's impossible to know. That is the reason for the appeal. We are being specific around the time that he was released and the time he was arrested. That's why we're asking for anyone who's had contact with him between February and May to come forward. Initially, the first incident was a Hertfordshire matter. The following day, when the incident in the Met took place, we were then able to link it to the Hertfordshire inquiry, and then the Met Police took primacy for that, and it then became a national manhunt for him. It's important we keep an open mind as to people who he may have been involved with. It is a very fast-moving investigation. We are working through colleagues around the country in multiple forces to identify the detail of what happened, so it is really a bit too early to say.